All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with one of the absolute best, and I'm talking my favorite high value and budget LPVO you can possibly get for under $90. And today it's actually going to be under $75 with the applicable discounts in the description below. This is the brand new Monstrum Tactical Ladon, and it is a second focal plane 1:6 with a BDC reticle system, flip-up lens covers, mount, and optic included, all for an amazing price. And these generally sell for $89.95, and they are worth every single penny of that price point. Hands down, making them one of the best 1:6s under $90, let alone the discounted price of what you can get with all of the info in the description below. And that info will be in the description below, as well as any applicable ways to save. If it happens to have expired by the time you're watching this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one, and I'm constantly doing deal videos, so definitely click that notification bell. But let's dig right in, starting with how I acquired this optic. I've been working with Monstrum Tactical for years now. They're one of the original companies that send out optics to the channel, and when I saw this option, I knew I had to give it a try. I didn't realize the quality of this until I unboxed it and looked down it for the first time, and it blew me away for the price point. I also want to give a huge shout out to AAC for sending over the 556, both the 62 grain and the 55 grain, to make this video possible. I put way too many rounds through this setup on and off camera just because it was so fun to shoot, and I really wanted to prove this out. If I'm going to claim something's the best under a certain price point, I really need to prove it out. More information about AAC can be found on the campsite page, and the campsite page will be in the description below. But let's dig right in, starting with the overall basics of the optic. It's a 30mm tube 1:6 second focal plane optic, meaning as you zoom in and out, the reticle stays the same size, making the bullet drop compensation only effective at the 6 power setting. But that's how I like a lot of different 1:6s, because at the 1 power setting you still get an incredibly usable reticle that's very well designed for CQB situations. The next thing I want to discuss is the fact that it does include the offset 30mm mount inside the box, and it's a fairly decent mount. Monstrum sells these mounts for about $30 independently, give or take a few bucks depending on what's going on, so you're already getting a ton of value there. This one does ship with the 2 flip-up lens covers and a couple of batteries and everything you need to get it set up, so very good value. You don't have to go out and buy anything else to run this optic. The next thing I want to mention is it's fairly compact. It's not overly large. It's not super bulky or heavy. It's a good, nice, well-balanced LPVO for a 1:6. Now, one thing to note, this one does come with cap turrets. I've let one of the caps off because I want to show you guys the turrets, which is probably one of the first things that you're going to encounter down at the range while you're sighting it in. It just took a few clicks to get sighted in on top of this flat top, and it was easy. And listen to these clicks. These are clicks you find on like a $300 or $400 optic. Generally, when an optic is going to have capped turrets, they're not expecting you to adjust them on the fly, and they generally don't have as good of a click or feel to them as something like an exposed tactical turret. So having these audible and tactile clicks is absolutely awesome, and everything dials in nicely. It's very easy to understand, so that is a great option there. The next thing you're going to interface with after that is going to be the zoom lever itself, as well as the adjustable diopter on the back. Now, this one actually has the zoom lever built in, and that's where you're going to start noticing some cost savings and different things like that. A lot of times Monstrum and other companies will offer removable zoom levers, and for all that I can see, this is just built in. It just is what it is. So if you don't like it, kind of too bad. But again, this is a high value optic, but it's actually really nice that they've included it, and the zoom knob is very good. It feels nice. It's not overly stiff. Now, is it the nicest I've ever felt? No. Again, we're going to be talking about things that are going to be really good on this, and then things that are going to be adequate, and that feel is adequate. But again, we are talking about a sub $75 optic at the time of release of this video. The next thing will be the adjustable diopter to get everything dialed in. Now, you pull that adjustable diopter out a little bit, and then you get a good feel. It's a true 1-to-1, and that's really rare on such a affordable LPVO. Generally, the 1 power setting is going to have a fisheye effect, or it's not going to truly be 1 power, but this one is. I can't explain it. It is. It works. It's amazing. That's great. And it's also good at the 6 power setting. So that's really good. Now, For me, the adjustable diopter does have some nice tension to it, but a little bit more tension would be good. If you bump this a little bit, it's not really going to affect your sight picture much, but if it's all the way threaded in, you'll notice a difference at the 1 power setting, or if it's pulled out a little bit. For me, this is what I need for my specific eye, running at the 1 power setting to get it a truly 1 power feel. The illumination on here does illuminate the reticle system, and I do want to show you guys the reticle system as you've seen in the intro. You actually have a circle that illuminates along with the center dot, but right below that you'll have a chevron aiming point with the bullet drop compensation, and you'll have duplex lines leading in your eyes, making this one of the best Monstrum reticles I've seen on their LPVOs. This is it. This is where it's at. This is an amazing reticle, and the BDCA3 on the Ladon is perfect for what we are looking at here. I really don't see any room for improvements. The illumination is actually fairly daytime bright. Probably one of the brightest illuminations I've seen on a Monstrum LPVO, especially with that reticle system. So this is very usable as a pseudo red dot inside the home for personal defense. It also has green illumination, which is really nice. But again, that red is some of the brightest I've seen on a Monstrum LPVO, and it just happens to be on this high value option. So the reticle brightness is killing it on this optic. Moving along to glass clarity, eyebox, eye relief, and the overall feel looking through the optic. One of the first things I want to notice is, again, it's great at the 1 power setting, no fisheye effect. At the 6 power setting, it's nice, and the glass clarity is on par with a $200 or $300 optic. It's just good. It's just really good. Now, this one is going to give you a slightly more constricted view than some other $200 or $300 LPVOs on the market. It just is what it is. You can't get everything for $75, or else every optic would be $75. So you will get a more a lessened field of view at a distance at the 6 power setting than some other 1 to 6s on the market that's going to be $200 or $300. But it's not much of a sacrifice. It really isn't, especially at this price point. And primarily I'm running my LPVOs anywhere between 1 and 3 and 4 for just general purpose shooting. And if I need to use the BDC, I'm going to be rested somewhere for precision shots and that bullet drop compensation well past 200 yards. And I'm going to want it at the 6 power setting. And then at 100 and 200 yards, the field of view is going to be pretty darn good. So keep everything in perspective. You know what I'm saying? So with the 6 power setting, you may have a tighter field of view than other 1 to 6s on the market. But again, you're paying a third of the price. And generally when you're shooting 6 power, it's because you're running the BDC reticle on a target, and that target is generally 100 yards and out, where the field of view doesn't quite matter as much at the 1 to 3 power setting, when maybe you're tracking game or something across a field. So in summary, this thing is awesome. Everything about this optic, if you were to hold off the Monstrum Tactical name, show me this optic, I would easily tell you it's at least a $200, $150, $200 optic, and it would be great at that price point. I could even see people charging even more because a lot of the features are competing with optics well above the price. So to see this below $100 without any discount, and then to see it at $72, $73 after the applicable discounts, this thing should sell out in my humble opinion. I love the optic. It's just great. It's one of the best 1 to 6s in this high value and budget category I've tried in a while, and I'm really glad to get this out to the channel. I know Monstrum Tactical did not pay me to send that, but it is linked on Amazon in the description below, and that is an Amazon affiliate link. So if you decide to click on it, it helps out the channel at no extra cost to you, just brings you right to the sale page. And even if you don't grab the optic and you utilize that link to buy laundry detergent or silverware or a sled for winter, like any of that stuff helps out the channel, and it is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for all your support over the years. Thanks to Monstrum Tactical for sending this out, as well as AAC for always supporting the channel. Have a good one.